Based on the Iamroses color challenge, teal and purple, I chose to use the following papers for my layout. Next, I cut my mat for my photo at a 4¼ by 6¼ and I matted the photo on a black piece of cardstock. To give the photo a better accent, I matted it onto the pattern paper that you see below, and I created a slightly larger border to give it a little bit more of a pop. Using distress ink, I inked all the edges, or distressed all the edges with the ink pad. For those of you that know me, I don't like to measure a lot of my stuff, and so I just decided to cut 2 different strips at 2 different sizes using the 2 pattern papers, the purple and that black and white. And I'm creating 2 different size banners. Using the ruler, I am measuring about 2 inches, which is going to be the mark where I'm going to create my banner. So using my scissors, I'm cutting in the middle and then across on each side to create a banner. And I will erase that line with a pencil eraser, and then I did that again with the black and white strip as well. Using this newsprint paper, I cut another piece that is totally unmeasured, and then I grabbed a Martha Stewart punch and used it on both of the longer side edges. As I do that, I just start placing my pieces onto my layout and just trying it out and seeing how things fit. And this is just kind of how I come up with my ideas, just playing around with my paper. I then cut a thin strip to make another border that will go on the bottom of the page. I once again use the same Martha Stewart punch to punch the one edge of that long strip. I then cut a strip that's slightly wider than the newsprint strip and start placing it on my page. I now take a light lavender pan pastel, and with the sponge I start rubbing it all over my page. And like this page is a resist paper, then the teal starts to come through on the parts that are not embossed. And I just randomly put it on all different parts of my paper. I then grab the distress ink and do the same for a second tone. And that's what I'm doing, just using a blender pad. I now go back in with the lavender pan pastel again and fill any spots that are missing. And I know that the picture is going to be right in the middle, so I'm not too worried about putting any ink on in the middle part of my paper. I can now start putting my layout together, and so all I'm doing here is I'm just playing and seeing if I really like the way I had it before. And I just use the ink and fill in any spots that I think were missing when I was inking the paper. Now that I have my picture down, I can now see those little spots that I may have missed. And so I'm just using my ATG gun, which is my favorite form of adhesive, and just placing things down. I'm usually using quite a bit of pop dots. This time I decided to do my layout a little bit flat. There will be quite a bit of dimension coming up with the Iamroses, so I don't want to add a whole lot more dimension or it's not going to fit in a page protector for me. I now grab some pearls by Carla S001, and I'm just using my Helmar 450 Quick Dry, which is probably my favorite form of wet adhesive, especially for adhering plastic or metal or anything that's really quite heavy. It's just my absolute favorite. I don't think I use anything else. Even a hot glue gun doesn't adhere the same way. And here I am grabbing several different Iamroses flowers, and they're mostly lavender and white. And I'm just placing the beautiful white leaf underneath that flower. And I will have all the links to all the specific flowers that I'm using right here on my layout on my blog, as well as you will find the contest details and link on my blog as well. So please go check that out at the end of this video. That pink flower is a gorgeous cherry blossom, and I picked it because it kind of goes with Ava's shirt in that photo, and so I didn't want the photo to not fit, or I didn't want the photo to not fit in, so I did need to add a little bit of pink to go in there, even though that's not necessarily the color challenge for this month. So all I'm doing right now is just layering and layering and layering, and that's, I just play with my flower placement. There's no rhyme or reason of how I place my flowers. People always ask me how I come up with it, and this is how I come up with it. I just really play, and if I don't like it, I just move it around. I found these old stickers in my stash, and I thought I would just use them and see how they fit. I placed the first circle down. I really liked it, and I thought, you know what, it's time to use them. So I just went and started using all of the ones that I could find. These chipboard words were sent to me by my girlfriend in Australia, and this is a Mother's Day layout, so I really wanted to use some beautiful words on my layout. So I just grabbed some black paint using my finger because it's such thin chipboard that a paintbrush would have just gobbed it on, and sometimes your finger is the best paintbrush, so that's what I used on here. And I waited for them to dry. I then placed them one by one on my layout. As you see below, I used love, I believe I used cherish, and the last one I used is memories. This black ink is some Indian ink, and I love it for mixed media and journaling, and so I decided to mimic some of the effect that the sticker had of this like droplets. So that's what I started doing all over the page. And now I'm using these Michael Christmas ornaments that I had in my stash, and because they're purple, I thought they would fit in as a really nice filler within my flowers. So that's what I'm doing right now, and I just cut the little stems off. These are so fun at Christmas time to get a whole bunch of colors and have them in your stash for any layouts or projects. Here's the finished layout. For more information, please check out my blog, and I will have all the details posted in my blog. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.